Action photography, I mean, it can be anything. Anything moving is potentially action photography. And there's a couple of ways you can go. You either want to slow the action down or you want to speed that action up. And what I might mean by that is, let's say you look at the back of a newspaper during the time of the Olympics, and you've got a skier that you know is going Mach 3 down a hill. You've got an option to slow your shutter speed down. So imagine quickly between shutter speeds, you open your curtains, look out the window, close them real quick. That's going to stop movement really, really sharp. So the way your SLR camera works essentially is you press the button, the curtains open, they close, and in that in-between time, the picture is created. Any movement that happens within that short time is going to be stopped like that. If you slow the shutter speed down, you're effectively opening the curtains up, letting all that light in. Any movement that's happening between those points is going to be blurry on the camera. So open the curtains, all the movement goes on, press the button, close, boom, there's your picture. So when you see a very sharp skier and everything else is blurred, what the photographer's done is actually put it on a slow shutter speed, but he's tracked the skier along with him. So the camera is glued to the skier, so the camera and the skier are moving at the same speed, but everything else behind it is blurry. So it's a trick that you can use with the camera. If you just set a really fast shutter speed, so the curtains are opening and closing like that, the skier would actually be rendered super sharp, and so would everything else in the frame. So it can be quite distracting because you might have crowds, you might have everything else. You might have seen the Usain Bolt picture where he's looking off to the left-hand side when he's just about to win the race. Everything else is blurry. The photographer has pre-focused on the lane that he's running in, so only that much of the picture from the side is in focus. So what he's done is a slow shutter speed. He's following Usain Bolt, and he's got extremely lucky to capture that one shot where he's looking across. So there's different ways you can do action photography creatively. Let me just shut this window. I've got a hurricane coming in. And it's all to do with what is your outcome? What do you want as the photographer is your outcome? Is it a super sharp picture where everything is sharp? Or do you just want a sharp subject where everything is blurred behind it? This has got everything to do with the settings, but it's also to do with timing. So you set the camera up how you want, and as long as your camera has the manual settings to do it, then you should be able to capture the type of image that you want. It's also got a whole lot to do with your relationship with the subject that you're photographing. So if you've been a skateboarder for the first 12 years of your childhood, then you pick up a camera and you choose to go and photograph football, you might not understand it as well as photographing skateboarding. So I know that I spent most of my younger life kayaking and teaching kayaking around the world. And so when I picked up a camera, I knew the next move that was coming, I knew how quick people were going, and I could predict the setup somebody was going to use when they were going to pull a trick. So I could predict the optimum time to press the button to make the picture that I wanted to make. Apart from when I used a video camera, because one of the best things that happened, well, it wasn't the best. We were in France in 2005. I was hanging almost upside down off a rope bridge above a gorge, and I was filming a group of kayakers coming down this rapid. And it takes a long time to drive there, a long time to set up. And I was talking to the camera like this, and then I was stopping the camera, talking to the camera like this, and then stopping the camera. And so I pressed what I thought was record as they were all coming down, and watching everyone come through. And then when I got back up onto the bridge and back up into the field, I realized I'd got the opposite, and I was filming when I should have been not recording, and then recording when I shouldn't have been recording. So I'd completely filmed the wrong things and messed up. And so it was a huge mistake, and unfortunately the camera did get thrown across the field, but it did survive. But that's a funny little story to do with action video. But you're never going to capture everything you want. It takes practice, it takes timing, and it's about understanding your kit.